Hello, my name is Travis Bonfili, and thank you for joining me in this Teaching Life Skills Through Youth Sports Timeout video. Well, the winter 2018-2019 intramural basketball season is well underway. And as youth sport coaches, we have incredible opportunities that are presented to us each week in our practices and in our games for the teaching of many different types of skills. As coaches, sometimes we become consumed with teaching the tactical and the technical skills in sport, and we overlook another type of skill that is just as important, if not more important, and those are life skills. Now, the challenge for us as coaches is to recognize and then seize upon that moment where we're presented with an opportunity to teach about life skills. And that's what these video shorts are going to be over the next 12 weeks. I'm going to be sharing with you my strategy and how I approach teaching life skills through sport with my U9 and U10 boys intramural basketball team. And hopefully this will give you an idea as to maybe how you can incorporate the teaching of life skills into your sport context. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in here to life skills timeout number 1, where I'm going to be focusing on honesty and integrity. So we had our first practice of the season on Sunday night, this past Sunday, and we were doing some free play scrimmaging, 5-on-5. And as 9 and 10-year-olds at the developmental level are definitely wont to do, the ball bounced off 2 or 3 legs and then went out of bounds. Now, that wasn't the important part. What was important was what happened next. The ball had clearly gone off the red team last, prior to going out of bounds. And it was a red team player, Deuce, as he likes to be called, who went over and picked up the ball after it had ricocheted off of one of his teammates. And it's what Deuce did next that made me call a life skills timeout. And so Deuce took the ball, walked over to a player on the white team, and as he handed them the ball, he said, "Here, it went off our team last, it's your ball." And as soon as I saw that, I knew I had to do a life skills timeout. So I do what I normally do in all the sports that I coach. I said, stop, stand still, kind of called everybody over, and I said, I just wanted to point out what Deuce just did right there. I said, that's about honesty and integrity. And it's about doing the right thing, even though it's not going to benefit Deuce or his team. And that was what was important. And that as a coach and as an adult, those are the types of character and life skills that I value. I value honesty and I value integrity. And if the players see that the coach values those things, the hope is that they will emulate that type of behavior. And I also took a brief moment to put it into a context that they might even be more familiar with. Again, this is developmental basketball. Some players have never played organized basketball before. And the context I chose was school. I said, I know that maybe at some point, either you or someone you know at school has been tempted to cheat and to do the wrong thing. And that would not be honest, that would be dishonest, and that is not showing integrity. And I said, and even though it's not going to benefit you, right? You're not going to get a better test grade because you cheated. It's not about that. It's about doing the right thing. It's about doing what's right, being honest, and having integrity. And that if you wanted to get a better test score, what you should do is study harder, try harder, dedicate more time to that subject. And so again, I wanted to contextualize it both in the sport context as well as a context that I know that all 9 and 10-year-olds are familiar with, and that is school. And that I'm sure that there is some sort of cheating that goes on at some point. I know I was certainly tempted to cheat as a youngster. Now, it's also very important that these life lessons be reiterated. And so what I love to do is this coming Saturday night, we have our next practice. And the very first thing I'm going to open practice with is I'm going to ask the players, do you remember when I stopped practice after the ball had gone out of bounds and Deuce had handed it to a player on the opposite team, saying that it had gone off of his team last? And I'm going to open up a conversation because I don't want it to be about me talking all the time. I want to hear what they have to say about it as well. And then what about permanence? How will I know if the life skills I'm teaching, at least in this season and over the 12 weeks that I have these 9 and 10-year-old boys, is there some permanence to that life skill? And for me, this one, honesty and integrity, and the ball going out of bounds and giving it to the team that it went out of bounds, or that the opposite team that it did not go out of bounds off of, it's very easy to check. And that's going to be to watch to see when we're practicing, because trust me, 9 and 10-year-olds, the ball is going out of bounds constantly. Does anybody else emulate Deuce's behavior? Does somebody else wait for that opportunity where it goes off of their team? And do they grab the ball and say, hey, it went off of us last, it's the white team's ball? So again, hopefully this has given you an idea as to how you can incorporate life skills teaching and training and character development into your youth sport training. And again, this could be for soccer, it could be for lacrosse, and it'll be up to you to make that translation into your youth sport context. All right, thanks so much for watching. You're going to hear from me later in the week with another Life Skills Timeout.